Okay, so this is my newly purchased 1989 Buick Reatta. I still own the old Cadillac I used to have. It's just I needed a different car because I was on the way home one day and the transmission blew up on it. Just out of nowhere. We don't really think the trans blew up. It's probably the computers, but it might as well be it's dead. I have sentimental attachment to the car, so I'm not getting rid of it. It's just going to be a project after I finish my old Caprice. So, this wasn't originally the car I was going to get that day. So, we were going up to where we saw this at. We saw it a couple hours outside of where we were going. Because we were going up to a dealership to look at a 1998 V6 convertible Camaro for $2,000. Turned out the dealership was trash. Everything they were selling was garbage. They had another one of these, by the way, up here. But these headlights, these pop-ups, were stuck. They wouldn't move. It didn't have brakes. Interior was better shape than this one. But it wasn't. And we saw this car on the side of the road heading up there. But I was like, when I saw it in the corner of my eye, and I was like, hey, there's a reatta. I wonder if that car's for sale. Because it looked, the way it was positioned looked like it was for sale. We didn't notice the building it was sitting in. And we said, well, if it's still there, if we don't buy the car, when we're on our way back, if it's still there, we'll look, we'll see if it's got for sales on it, signs on it, and if it does, we'll call the owner and see how much they want for it, and if they'll meet for it today. And sure enough, we couldn't find the car. We didn't spend all day up there, and couldn't find the car. They'd sold it already. So we're on our way back. We're heading back, and it's like, hey, it's still there. Turns out, and we noticed the sign, the building it was sitting in. Turns out it was an old car dealership. The dealer who ran the dealership, the guy who ran it, retired. He had this car. He'd bought it a while ago, and he just wasn't driving it anymore. So he's like, I'll just sell it. So he parked it in front of his dealership and just had it sitting there. And so we called him up and talked to him for a minute. And at first it looked like the car was going to be a no because the hood doesn't stay up. It needs bars there. Some things like the dipstick, the handle broke off of it, but the dipstick's still good. You just have to grab it by a little thing. Oh, we couldn't get the headlights, but that was user error. We got the headlights to work. This car, I want to say, has like 200,000 miles on it. But I was just taking a word for it. That sounds trustworthy, though. 200,000. From a service record. Because he said himself he doesn't know the mileage. He said he's going off of a service record from a couple of years ago. So it's probably a little over 200,000 miles on it. Because the service record was for an AC, which this car has everything working on it. First car I've ever owned with AC. And the service history on it was it had a AC compressor replaced in 2017 for $1,100. And this car, sure, it has its problems. Some pieces of trim are falling off. Some things like that. But other than that, the interior is in really good shape. It's got little cubbies back here. Sorry for the shaky cam, by the way. I just have a phone. Little cubbies back here. That mask, by the way, is mine. I need to throw it away. I haven't got to clean this car. I just bought it yesterday. I haven't even owned it for 24 hours. The seat's been redone. Steering wheel needs redone. The dash is good. This right here, though, the digital, that needs to be fixed. We believe it's just a fuse. Only thing wrong with it, that's an actual major problem. But even then, it's not too big of an issue. Because that's easy to fix. Because it's literally just some wires that plug in. And it's literally just some wires that plug in. You remove it, and it is simple. And the radiator, if I have to go buy one, not the radiator, but the digital dash, the fluorescent dash. If I have to go buy one, it's $200. It's not that much. The touch screen works. This car does have a touch screen straight from the factory. And it's a 3-point. Now some of the specs of the cars is a front-wheel drive, 3-point front-wheel drive, front engine. Well, obviously if it's front-wheel drive, it's front engine. But it makes, I want to say, 180 horsepower and 210 foot-pounds of torque. That's what Chevrolet rates it at. Forgive me for the shaky camera. Again, as I said, all I have is a phone. It's just cycling through everything. Sorry about the finger in the way. Starter. Oh, there's the splash screen. See, look, touchscreen. Let's see here. It's going to be a little hard to see because it is an old CRT with like a film over it. We're on the radio. Let's go to climate. Yeah, I know I need to put Freon in it. It flashes warnings on it, but the warning it's flashing up is for this right here because that won't show up. They said it just cut out one day. We think it's a fuse because the antenna won't lift either. They're probably on the same circuit. But yeah, see, look. It displays a little fan moving. Little fan. Displays a little fan. Oh yeah, another quirky thing about it is look at the glove box. See, there's no button on it. Well, there's a button down here that you press. Right here, you can't see it. It's blocked by the shift knob, but right there, and watch. That is so useless. What is the point of that? What even is the point? It doesn't really have a center console.